Hi you guys, hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and all the links are down below. So I'm doing a requested video and it's like Battle of the Eyebrows. I know most people had used Anastasia for a while, but the drugstore has come out with a lot of new eyebrow pencils. So today I'm going to show you the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, the e.l.f. I think it's the Instant Lift Brow. It's rubbed off already. And then we have the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo. So how I'm going to do this is just the same as all my reviews. I'm going to go through the 5 categories, and I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of each one. To start off, I'm going to do the e.l.f. one first, which is the cheapest at $3. You can buy this off the e.l.f. website. I believe e.l.f. is sold in like Walgreens, CVS's, Targets, and stuff. I have never seen this particular item in any of those, but I don't really go to CVS, so I can't say for CVS. But I ordered mine online back in a couple months ago. So yeah, this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. And basically for packaging, it's plastic. It has one cap that comes off, and this has the brow product right here. And then the other side, which is a plastic cap and a spoolie. Now, as far as the spoolie goes, I love it because this spoolie is not like the Anastasia one because it's so tightly packed in there that it's able to disperse the product on your eyebrows a lot better. So, you know, when a lot of people do eyebrows, they can get a little too harsh right here. This is able to blend it in because those bristles are so close together. But I do have to say, the cap is plastic, and normally these things break, and it's like a little bit loose on here, so that's my only complaint with the packaging, but it was only $3. Now for the next one, which is the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo. For packaging, again, all these are plastic, they're drugstore. You have the cap, and then you have the brow product, which is right here. But on the other end, there isn't a spoolie, but this is product, and if I could even get it off, it's packed on tight. It's a sponge. Now what the product is in the cap, and what you do is, it is like spring motion, so you dip it in here when you close it, and when you come out, you have product on the sponge to fill in your eyebrows. So I do like the packaging. I find that very neat, but remember, if you need a spoolie or a mascara wand to brush out your eyebrows, this does not come with it. Now, oh, by the way, this was $7.99 or $8.99. I believe it's $8.99 at Ulta and $7.99 at Target, but don't quote me. Now, this last product is a NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is $9.99. It's kind of expensive among all the drugstore, but it's still a lot cheaper than the Anastasia products. And on one side, you have a twist-up pencil. All these are twist-ups, which is, I'm glad, because I don't like when it gets stuck on the cap. And then the other side is a spoolie that is very similar to the Anastasia one, and it's plastic. So, you know, all of these relatively are the same with packaging. This one just doesn't have a spoolie. Now for colors, e.l.f., the cheapest one, the $3 one, only has 3 colors. It has like light, medium, and dark. And I had ordered the medium because when it comes to e.l.f.'s color range, it's not like light is a light medium, medium is a medium brown, and like dark is like a dark brown. Like, it's not like that. It's like light is all the way light, dark is all the way dark, and medium is literally in the middle. So I picked up medium because I was scared the dark shade was going to be too dark. And although this is like half a shade lighter than my eyebrow, I know the dark one was going to be way too dark. So for color range, they don't have a lot of colors, and I don't like that about this. But for me, the color does match, and I can get away with it, so that's not bad. But if you're in that in-between color, watch out, because a lot of these are warm tone too. This just happens to not so warm tone that I can't. And my eyebrow hair is on a little bit of the cool side, but this still works for me. So this is not as warm as the other two that they have. Then for the Maybelline one, so I have it up on Target's website, and it's $6.99 at Target, $7.99 at Ulta, to correct myself from before. So they have it in Auburn, which is like this like orange color. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I'm just showing you. Then they have it in blonde, which is like a light blonde color. Then they have it in deep brown, which I believe is the shade I have, and I'll tell you why. And then they have it in soft brown. So they have 4 colors, so 1 extra color. So it's basically like e.l.f., light, medium, dark, and then they have the auburn color that e.l.f. does not have. I have mine in deep brown, and it is way too dark for me. I can't even use it if I wanted to because it is so dark, and I got this in the summertime, so I'm hoping now that it's fall and my hair is a little bit darker, I can pull this off, but it's almost black. It's very dark. Now for the color range of the Micro Brow Pencil, I believe it has 7 or 8 colors. It's not as much. I think Anastasia has like 9 and this has 7. I remember there being like a number 2 difference. Like there's 2 shades that Anastasia had that NYX did not, but I'm not sure. This one I have mine in Espresso, and it says it's MBP. Mine says it's MBP07. But Espresso is like a dark brown, and this is the closest thing I can get to my actual brow color from all of these, because this does have a wider shade range than these two do. So thumbs up to NYX for that one. Now 3 is for wear time. Now none of these are waterproof like my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and the reason I keep talking about Anastasia is because this is highly compared to the Brow Wiz. I have the Dip Brow Pomade, so it's the same color range, and it's kind of the same performance, just my Dip Brow's in a pot rather than a pencil, so that's why I keep comparing it in case you wanted to know. Dip Brow's 18 and the Brow Wiz from Anastasia is, I think, 20. So my NYX one stays on. It's not waterproof or anything, but it stays on pretty well. I've never really noticed too much fading. Maybe, you know, if it's like a 12-hour mark, I just noticed to be a little bit lighter, but it doesn't smudge or move around. And for the Maybelline, I noticed the same thing. I didn't really have as much of an issue. I would say I could get 8 hours out of this, and I could get about like 10 hours out of the NYX one. So the Maybelline is right up there with the NYX one. And then the e.l.f. one. Now this is kind of interesting because the e.l.f. one, if I were just to apply it on, all I have to do is go like this and it will come off on my finger. But if I don't touch my eyebrows, it stays on all day. So I don't know if that's just me always having oily skin right around my eyebrow area, that this will always rub off. But as long as I don't touch my eyebrows, it will stay. So if you have dry, like a dry area over there, let me know if this stays for you. But for me, as long as I don't touch it, it will stay for, I would say, about 7-8 hours, just like the Maybelline one. Now for consistency, now I'm going to give you swatches, and I'm going to insert the swatches after because my camera says it autofocuses, but I don't know. I'm still figuring it out, even though I've had my camera for about 2 months now. So I'm just going to show you as I draw it on, and then I'll give you the swatches after. Now among all of these, this one is the consistency, the NYX one, is the hardest one, meaning it's not as creamy as the other two. But remember, that's kind of what you want in a brow pencil, because if it's too creamy, it's not going to be precise. And if it's too dry, it's going to like hurt. But this is like the perfect medium. I would say this is creamier than an Anastasia one, but it's like precise. So I do like the consistency of it. I'm going to show you the Maybelline one. It is creamier than the NYX one, as you see, but it is rougher. That probably doesn't make sense to you. I don't understand. It hurts almost like after the tip breaks. It's a little bit rough, but it's still very creamy. I have to like kind of, you know, because my tip broke off, so it's kind of like flat, like square at the end. So it's kind of a little bit rough at the moment. But for consistency-wise, it's still right on. It's just a little bit rough. Now for the e.l.f., this is the creamiest among all of them. But it's almost too creamy to the point where I cannot get it exactly precise. With the Micro Brow Pencil, though, the tip, it's a micro, so it's able to get all the little hairs right here, like the actual brow product. And same thing with the Maybelline. Maybelline one is a little bit thicker than the NYX one, but it's still small enough tip that you can get each hair. Now, the e.l.f. one I absolutely loved when it had a tip, but you know, after it rounds out, it's pretty thick. So I can't make a tail on my eyebrows with this because it will come out looking extremely thick, only because, you know, the tip is thick, so it's very hard to get precise with the e.l.f. And my cat popped off. So annoying. Now for 5 other and personal, I don't really have anything else to say. I always suggest getting this when they have the 40% off from Ulta, because you can get it for like $6. So, I don't know. These are just the 3 that are highly requested and a lot of people use. I have to give my NYX Micro Brow Pencil a 10 out of 10. I don't know, this is my favorite to go to, maybe because it's a better color match than the other 2, but this deserves a 10 out of 10. I have to give the Maybelline one, probably a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I just wish I had a wider color range, and I wish there was a spoolie instead of this, but I guess that's not the type of product. This, in my opinion, doesn't look natural, and it just kind of like fills up your eyebrow. So I would prefer to see a spoolie, and I do like the brow product. It's just a little bit too dark for me. And for the e.l.f., I have to give it a 5 out of 10. I think it will work for half of it because there are 3 shades, so there's a good chunk of people that can make that work. And then there's a good chunk of people where the shade is literally their match. And then the other reason I gave it a 5 out of 10 is because it's creamy. But for me, this is not my favorite product to use on myself. If you're somebody with thicker eyebrows, who just need like a little bit filling in, this works. And if this is somebody for really thin eyebrows, you also can get a lot done in a short amount of time. It's just not as precise. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is my personal favorite. Let me know what's yours. I hope you enjoy videos like this. Again, all the information is down below. And I hope you guys all have a great day.